The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg is a groundbreaking exploration into the science of habit formation, backed by real-world examples and case studies. The book delves into how habits work, why they exist, and how they can be transformed. In this extensive summary of around 5,000 words, we will cover the key concepts and insights from each section of the book. Part 1: The Habits of Individuals. Chapter 1: The Habit Loop. Duhigg introduces the habit loop, a neurological pattern that governs any habit's occurrence. The loop consists of a cue, routine, and reward. He illustrates this concept through various examples, such as the story of a woman named Lisa, whose smoking habit was successfully broken by understanding and manipulating this loop. Chapter 2: The Craving Brain: How to Create New Habits. The author explores the role of craving in habit formation. By dissecting habit loops and understanding the cravings driving them, individuals can create new habits or modify existing ones. Duhigg discusses the story of Tony Dungy, the successful football coach, and his approach to changing the habits of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chapter 3: The Golden Rule of Habit Change. Duhigg introduces the golden rule of habit change: keep the cue and reward the same, but change the routine. He explores various examples, such as Alcoholics Anonymous, to illustrate how understanding and applying this rule can lead to successful habit modification. Part 2: The Habits of Successful Organizations. Chapter 4: Keystone Habits, or the Ballad of Paul O'Neill. Duhigg introduces the concept of keystone habits, powerful routines that have a ripple effect, influencing other behaviors. He illustrates this through the story of Paul O'Neill, the former CEO of Alco, who transformed the company by focusing on safety as a keystone habit. Chapter 5: Starbucks and the Habit of Success. The author delves into the story of Starbucks and its transformation under Howard Schultz. The key was recognizing and altering organizational habits, creating a culture where employees felt empowered and valued. Schultz's emphasis on creating a third place helped foster a sense of community among customers, becoming a keystone habit for the company. Chapter 6: The Power of a Crisis: How Leaders Create Habits Through Accident and Design. Duhigg explores how leaders can leverage crises to instill new habits within organizations. The story of the London Underground fire illustrates how a crisis prompted the implementation of new safety habits, leading to a significant reduction in accidents. He also discusses the transformational leadership of Rick Warren and his approach to habit change. Part 3: The Habits of Societies. Chapter 7: How Movements Happen. Duhigg investigates the dynamics of social habits and how movements are created. He discusses the Montgomery bus boycott as a case study, illustrating how social habits can be shifted and revolutions sparked. The key lies in the three components of a movement: the habits of individuals, the influence of social networks, and the weak ties that bring in new participants. Chapter 8: Saddleback Church and the Montgomery bus boycott. The author analyzes the role of habits in societal change, using the example of Saddleback Church and its approach to fostering a sense of community. He then delves into the civil rights movement and the impact of the Montgomery bus boycott on broader societal habits, emphasizing the role of social habits in driving significant change. Part 4: The Habits of Societies. Chapter 9: The Neurology of Free Will: Are we responsible for our habits? Duhigg explores the concept of free will and responsibility in the context of habits. He discusses the neurological aspects of habits and the role of willpower. The story of Eugene Porley, a man with severe anterograde amnesia, illustrates how habits can persist even when conscious memory is impaired. Chapter 10: The Habits of Successful People. The author investigates the habits of highly successful individuals. He analyzes the routines of various accomplished figures, from Michael Phelps to Martin Luther King Jr., to distill the common elements that contribute to their success. The key is often a focus on keystone habits and a disciplined approach to managing behavior. Chapter 11: A Plan: 17 Ways to Build Habits. Duhigg provides a practical guide for building and changing habits. He outlines 17 strategies, ranging from identifying keystone habits to understanding the science of belief. These strategies offer readers actionable steps to take control of their habits and foster positive change in their lives. Conclusion: the power of habit in everyday life. In the conclusion, Duhigg summarizes the key insights from the book. He reiterates the significance of understanding and manipulating the habit loop, whether at an individual, organizational, or societal level. The power of habit serves as a guide for anyone looking to understand the mechanics of habits and leverage this knowledge for personal and collective transformation.